to do my first presentations ever, and I'm not nervous at all.
Okay, are you guys ready? Did you do some push-ups? This is my statement right now. If I should not be here tomorrow, a crazy guy from NORDIC creating a lightsaber out of a drilling machine. Do you guys have any questions? No? That means I've done a perfect job then. Either they don't want to listen to, or they don't want to hear me talk anymore, or then they're like, no man, like, I don't need to know anything. I remember when I was in school as well. We're done.
Find your own way, there is no map. That was exactly what I told the students at the presentations that I just did back in Brussels at the Erasmus School. What I was thinking about when I was saying this first principle that I have written down in this presentation, I thought of the last 5 years in my journey on social media, creating videos, shooting photos, all those things, and how I got here. Find your own way. No one can tell you what's right or wrong, especially not in this area. Let's get out in Ghent. And when we get back from Ghent, I have to show you this extraordinary piece of architecture.
Green tea with cherry blossom. I suggest that you just let it melt because the flavors come in stages.
Is it good?
Yeah, really good. I love juice.
A lot of fruit flavor.
What we do is actually make little croquettes of the confit belly of the codfish. In Japan, actually, that's the most interesting part of the fish because it's closer to the stomach, and so it's actually more flavor, also a little bit more greasy.
Really nice presentation as well.
Thank you very much.
It's really the old-fashioned way, yes.
Nice.
Unless you're like, oh no, I don't want fish.
You don't sell this in the right way.
Yeah, I know, but it's because it's so personal.
Confitted leg of the duck comes with mashed potatoes from leek and the mushroom sauce. Whatever you choose, you don't go out with hunger.
Time job. No, this is matter.
I think that's too much foam.
Sarah, look.
Oh my god, don't intimidate me though.
This is how we want it. Now, if you know me, you know I'm not a big fan of Christmas, but then you get to Ghent Christmas market. There's a freaking carousel in the middle of the city, there's lights everywhere, so it's so much fun to film, and suddenly Christmas got a lot more interesting. When you're going on Christmas markets, but I'm such a huge fan of this place. Like, you have the ducks with Christmas hats on, but now we're gonna do something completely different.
No, yeah, it's a little.
No, it's a whole one.
It's a whole. The second principle that I've been starting to look into way more on my journey so far is this: emotions are the soul of every story. What do we want people to feel after you take a photo, you create a video, you write a piece, you do a voiceover? If you want to create a certain emotion, you want people to feel a certain way after they watched your content. And why am I telling you this in this place right here? It's actually because this is the stadium in Ghent where people are playing football. And what's so special about this place for me is that one of the most emotional pieces that I've done was also made at another football stadium.
Right now the stadium is closed here in Gent. We're actually on the top of the stadium and we're about to go in and try my first Michelin experience in tasting foods. One last point I wanted to tell you before we're gonna eat all these amazing courses is this. The story that we did back then in Dijon in France at the time with Olivia was filled with emotion of her crying, our journey all the way there, and then when she finally saw Alex the goalkeeper, she was not crying, maybe inside, but because of joy. So the emotions that we created back then was so powerful, and it's the exact same thing that you should do whenever you're creating a piece of content or you're creating a business. That is why emotions are so important when you're doing storytelling.
So why do you need to start from the left to the right? Because the left is the softest and creamiest one, and then you go to the right is the hardest and toughest one. So if you start at the right, you will not taste the lefty one.
Try to taste, come on.
Yeah.
Big.
Yeah. Fattig. Okay. Swallow it.
It's so brilliant. I've never seen this before. Like, you shut down, you shut in. What is this madness? The third principle I talked about was step back, adapt, and listen. And mainly what I was meaning by that is that I have 4 ways to tell my story and to create the emotions that we want people to feel. Photography, video, writing, and voice. And while we were doing our tour in Gent, the tour guide had some really great knowledge about the tour that he did, but also about Gent and generally people in Flanders, how they behave, how they act, how they eat.
Flemish people are really known for is to be really Burgondic. And Burgondic means that we really love to eat. When people spend dinner over here, they spend like 3 hours having dinner at a very easy tempo. Appetizer, first course, main course, dessert. It's an activity.
So I asked him then to do the introduction to the video that I did there, because I knew that it would work really well. So in that way I knew what tools to use to then tell my story better. And now back to this piece of architecture. Check this out.
When you found your way, get lost. And I don't mean get lost by not knowing where you are. And we found our way all the way here now to the Felix Parkhouse in the middle of Antwerp. When I decided to go on this trip here with Visit Flanders and with the other 3 guys that are doing mainly stuff about food and about travel, I don't do so much about food, but I do a lot about travel. So in order to document that and trying to capture a film that would then work for Visit Flanders, I suddenly put myself out into a position where I not necessarily know how to do the best photos of food or the best video, but I want to learn, because that's how I do it the best, and that's also why I did the video Repeat Phobia. And what this means is that every time I do certain things the same way, I get bored and I lose my motivation. Because I'm getting bored when I do stuff the same way all the time, but when I can then start combining the stuff I already know with some new things that I think are interesting, and then I can go to travel to these places and in this moment document food, that's where I think it gets really funny. Rasmus is one of the guys that is with me here on the trip, and I think one particular thing is really cool about him being here with us is in Flanders, is because he just had a kid 6 months ago. But it still proves that you could actually go on these trips even though that you just became a father.
6 months ago we had the most amazing daughter in the world, and life doesn't stop at that point. You can go out and have some fun with people, and I haven't slept in like 6 months, so I enjoyed this trip because I get to eat a lot of Michelin food and good food and Belgian food, and I get to sleep at a hotel without a screaming baby beside the bed, so it's a win-win for me.
It's perfect, and it's just the way that it should be.
Yeah.
So now let's go find
The other guys, Christian and Jan, is drinking mimosas. Yeah, and then we have to go to more restaurants and eat more food. It's gotta be fun.
It's a perfect combination.
The salty and the chocolate flavor is a very good combination.
Which one did you choose?
I tried the bacon and chocolate.
Yeah. So you pay 45 euros to sniff chocolate?
Yeah. Sounds a little strange to me.
Gotta try it.
I'm gonna bring it like 1 centimeter below your nose. Okay. And then I'll maybe say 1, 2, 3, and then at 3 you start inhaling. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
How is it to do chocolate, Christian?
I felt the sense of it, but I think a little bit more chocolate powder. I think it's going to be interesting.
I'm not going to try this.
Ah, come on, yeah, come on.
Can I try it? Can I try to do it like in a line instead?
Det är som Exit-serien. It's perfect.
That was better, no?
And in your face.
Okay, I'm not good at this.
I've seen the miracles. It's enough.
So, next stop.
Next stop is a restaurant.
Iglo, actually Iglo. Spanish Dynamite. Danish Dynamite.
Not Spanish Dynamite.
Danish Dynamite.
Yeah.
And he make video reportage for television or for YouTube.
Nice to meet you guys.
Okay. Have a nice trip.
Yeah, thanks.
Have a nice time.
Filming and drinking.
You have 2 minutes to drink 1 beer. That's perfect. I like this story. It's a red clock. If you see the clock, it's 1 minute and 54 seconds. I don't understand anything, but the beer is good.
Der går et stykke tid, før der sker noget.
Oh no! We're out of beer. Oh!
So stupid.
Moving all over.
Oh! Most perfect butcher store. Don't be a vegan. That's my tip.
It's gluten-free.
I love gluten.
Cheese,
yeah, it was perfect.
let's give it, yeah.
Yeah? Really? It was really good. He didn't like us, he said. He was Scandinavian.
Yeah.
Don't come here.
Yeah.
Eat in casa.
Free stuff.
Let's go home.
Legacy over currency. Fifth and final point in my presentation from Belgium. And what I mean by that is, what is it that you want to be remembered for when you're not going to be here anymore? Or what is it that you want people to think when they're gonna contact you for jobs like these? Or in general, just the things you put out on social media. You create all these certain pieces of content, photos, videos, writing, voice, everything. What kind of message is it that you want to put out there into the world and then have people to follow and then to share your story with the people they love or the people that they feel need some inspiration in their life? And that's exactly why I started doing these interviews with my grandparents, as I just press record and then I film them for so many hours, because the impact they've had on me and their legacy is so important for me to remember, but also to show to others, because I think the things that they have accomplished in their lives and they have taught me is something I want to spread out and show the world. So that's exactly why I do it. Been one of the biggest lessons I've had this year are these 5 principles that I've been trying to go for, and especially legacy over currency. That's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in 2020. Jones out. Out, down,
Down.
Yeah. I'm always late for these things.
You're getting nervous?
You made it. Let's run.
Bye bye, Belgium.
Later,
okay, I'm gonna film you in picture. No,
yeah.